The alarm screamed through the corridors of Titan Station as Commander Lisa Rodriguez sprinted toward the command center, her boots echoing against the metal grating. The station shuddered under another barrage from the Zelnari fleet. Emergency, lights casting everything in an ominous red glow. "Status report," Lisa barked as she burst through the command center doors. Lieutenant James Park looked up from his console, sweat beading on his forehead. 17 Zelnari dreadnoughts in attack formation. They're demanding our immediate surrender, hull integrity at 60% and falling. Lisa's jaw tightened. Titan Station was humanity's most remote outpost, positioned at the edge of known space. For 3 years, it had served as an early warning system against alien incursions. Now, it seemed their vigilance had finally paid off, though not in the way anyone had hoped. "What about the evacuation shuttles?" she asked, pulling up tactical displays on the main screen. "Last one launched 20 minutes ago," reported Ensign Sarah Kim from communications. "All civilians and non-essential personnel are away. It's just the skeleton crew now, 43 souls." The Zelnari had appeared without warning, their crystalline ships materializing from hyperspace like deadly jewels. Their message had been simple: surrender the station or be destroyed. But Lisa knew what surrender meant. Intelligence reports from the outer colonies painted a grim picture. The Zelnari didn't take prisoners. They harvested. Another impact. Rocked the station. Sparks flew from damaged consoles as the lights flickered. "Commander," Park said quietly, "they're hailing us again. Put them through." The main screen shimmered, revealing the alien visage of a Zelnari war leader. Its translucent, angular features seemed to shift like living crystal, and when it spoke, the universal translator rendered its words in a cold, mechanical voice. "Human Commander, you have delayed long enough. Submit to harvesting, and your deaths will be swift." Lisa stepped forward, her chin raised defiantly. "I have a counteroffer for you. Turn around and leave, and maybe we won't turn your pretty ships into space debris." The alien's features rippled, what might have been amusement in a human. "You command a single station against 17 warships. Your bravado is curious. You don't know humans very well, do you?" Lisa smiled grimly. "We're full of surprises." The transmission ended abruptly, and the bombardment resumed with renewed fury. "Lieutenant Park, what's our weapon status?" "Plasma cannons are operational, but we're massively outgunned. Torpedo tubes are loaded, but we only have 12 shots." Lisa studied the tactical display, her mind racing. The Zelnari fleet had formed a perfect attack pattern, textbook military doctrine from a species that had conquered a dozen worlds. But there was something they didn't understand about humans. When cornered, they became dangerous in ways that defied logic. "Kim, patch me through to all sections." "You're on, Commander." Lisa activated the station-wide comm. "This is Commander Rodriguez. I won't lie to you, we're outgunned and outmanned. The aliens out there think we're just another species to be harvested, another world to be conquered. But they made one critical mistake." She paused, looking around at the faces of her crew. "They picked a fight with humans." She could see the effect of her words, shoulders straightening, jaws setting with determination. "We're going to show them what happens when you threaten humanity's children. All hands to battle stations, this is our line in the sand." The next few minutes were chaos. Lisa coordinated the defense from the command center while her crew worked with desperate efficiency. The Zelnari ships advanced in formation, their energy beams carving chunks from the station's hull. "Wait for it," Lisa murmured, watching the tactical display. The alien ships were moving exactly as predicted, following their rigid doctrine. "Commander, they're charging their main weapons," Park reported. "Massive energy surge across all 17 ships." "Now!" Lisa shouted. What happened next would be remembered in military academies for generations. Instead of trying to fight the superior fleet directly, Lisa had ordered the station's main reactor to be overloaded, while simultaneously launching all 12 torpedoes. Not at the ships, but at the massive asteroid field behind them. The torpedoes detonated in sequence, and billions of tons of rock and ice accelerated toward the Zelnari fleet, just as they fired their coordinated barrage. The aliens found themselves caught between their own devastating energy discharge and an artificial meteor storm moving at significant fractions of light speed. 7 Zelnari ships were destroyed instantly as truck-sized asteroids tore through their hulls. The remaining vessels, caught in the gravitational chaos of the disrupted asteroid field, found their perfect formation shattered. But Lisa wasn't done. As the aliens struggled to regroup, she initiated the station's self-destruct sequence and launched the command center, designed as an emergency escape pod, directly at the largest remaining Zelnari vessel. "This is insane," Park shouted over the noise of their improvised missile. "Exactly," Lisa replied, manually piloting their makeshift weapon. "That's what they don't understand about us. When pushed to the edge, humans don't just fight. We embrace the impossible." The command pod struck the Zelnari flagship at ramming speed, its emergency thrusters and remaining fuel creating an explosion that split the crystalline ship in half. The remaining alien vessels, faced with the destruction of their command ship and the loss of nearly half their fleet, did something unprecedented in Zelnari military history. They retreated. Hours later, as rescue ships arrived to collect, the survivors from the escape pods, Admiral Harrison, personally commended Commander Rodriguez over subspace radio. "Lisa, that was either the bravest or most foolish thing I've ever witnessed." Lisa, floating in her emergency pod with her surviving crew, looked out at the debris field that had once been Titan Station and 7 Zelnari warships. "Maybe both, sir, but that's what makes us human." The Battle of Titan Station became legend, not just for the tactical victory, but for what it represented. When faced with overwhelming odds, humanity didn't surrender or despair. They innovated, they adapted, and they fought with a creativity that their enemies couldn't comprehend. The Zelnari would think twice before threatening human space again. After all, they had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate a species crazy enough to turn their own space station into a weapon. In the vast darkness of space, where logical species followed predictable patterns, humanity remained beautifully, dangerously unpredictable. And that, perhaps, was their greatest strength of all.